Hey, darling, this is Vanessa Montgomery from Astro All-Stars. Let's talk about today's transit highlight, which is the Sun conjunct magnificent, multiplicitous, mystic Neptune in the sign of Pisces. So Neptune rules Pisces, so it's particularly strong. This is at 27 degrees of Pisces towards the end, which the sun being at 27 Pisces also means it's nearly the end of Pisces season, almost Aries season. So it's quite a peak mystic moment. You could put it that way. So we look at what does the sun mean, what does Neptune mean, and in the sign of Pisces. And then how do we put all that together? What does that mean when the sun conjuncts Neptune in Pisces? Let's have a chat about it. So Sun Neptune is one of my favorite combos because it is just so magical, artistic, mystic, beyond, mundane reality type of conjunctions. It's called a cazimi when another planet combines with the sun. And they say the sun kind of blows out that planet because the sun is so powerful. But another way of looking at this in astrology for the outer planets, when cazimi was invented as a thing in traditional astrology, we didn't know about the outer planets. So we may not really be able to use the same kind of logic. So yes, the sun might blow out the personal planets, the planets that are visible to the naked human eye, but the outer planets are so powerful, they tend to have a stronger impact on what they merge with. So we could look at Neptune dissolving what the sun means. So the sun represents conscious awareness, the self, the individual potential as well, and of course the ego, like an egoic awareness. And with Neptune dissolving that, it is doing its function, which is taking us to our higher self. If you look at the chart, you can see that sun circled with Neptune sitting just above the sun because it's not quite exact yet, but it's at the same degree, just a different minute. So the higher awareness, the higher self is what we really want to tune in today. And in Pisces, because Neptune rules Pisces, that's what Pisces wants anyway. So draw yourself a bath, go float in a pool, go swim in a lake or the ocean or the river, or create an ambience in your space, light a candle, turn the lights down, put on some very gentle music that helps transport you. Transcend. Transcend is a key word we're looking for here. And meditate, get into your feeling, the feeling of your body, ring a crystal bowl, that kind of thing, whatever it takes to get you there. Journal, do artwork, do creative things, tap into the muses, things that take you beyond yourself, really the artistic zone. It's the, what would you call it, like the pathway of not just the mystic, but the artist, the true artist. This is an extremely artistic, and I mean true high art placement. Some people have this natally with the Neptune conjunct their sun. We get to enjoy this every year as the sun takes a year to go round and meets up with each planet. So we get this happened 14 times in each sign because Neptune's in a sign for 14 years. So we don't have many more rounds around the sun when the sun conjuncts with Neptune. So make the most of it over this period, today being the peak. Say 10 days prior, 10 days after, we're still in this zone. It's aligns with a lack of energy as well. So just keep that in mind. So this dissolving of energy, the sun is also representative of life force and of course energy, as well as Mars is energy, but the sun is energy, vitality or life vitality. So with Neptune dissolving that, and in Pisces it could be a lack of energy to do heavy duty sorts of jobs or mundane tasks, and that's so that you slow down and go within. So there's energy to be had, it's just tapped into a different way in Pisces and with Neptune conjunct. So it's also very empathetic. So breaking down, or you should say dissolving the ego so that you're less self-interested and perhaps more compassionate and empathetic towards others. So helping the underdog or those in need or those that can't help themselves is a great way to also use this energy to really tap in. Probably not the best time to be on social media or watching the news, because harsh reality is really not the space for this sign unless you can do something about it from a place of, let's say, higher love as well. Non-personal love is all Neptune over the sun. A higher love. Neptune is seen as the higher octave of Venus. So Venus is personal love. Neptune is that higher non-personal loving way. And I have this natally, so I really relate to it. I have it in early Sagittarius, so it's still a different vibe, but I do really get Neptune, and I tend to do a lot of talks on different aspects of Neptune. I do have one coming up. Well, it's in a while, but they plan ahead at the big official Australian astrology conference. I'm calling it the Aussie Astrology Conference. Technically, it's the FAA, Federation of Australian Astrology, international conference for 2025, held here at the Gold Coast where I currently live. Anyway, back to this. I have 3 books out, and my most recent one is called Astro Power, A Simple Guide to Prediction and Destiny for the Modern Mystic. And I'm going to read you a little bit from it about Neptune. It expands on the planetary archetypes. So we all have Neptune somewhere in our chart, and Neptune is always transiting. This book is more about those transits and what they might mean for you when they connect with different aspects of your chart at different times, as well as on the societal level. So let's have a look. Let's go straight to, first of all, it starts off breaking down little bits of Neptune. We talk about the planet, and then we go into the deity, the archetype, Neptune in transit on a collective level, etc. So I'm just going to read you these 2 little bits. Neptune, the deity. Because Neptune blurs and dissolves boundaries, it's associated with mediumship, clairvoyance, and anything involving heightened sensitivity. Its extrasensory perception is delicate and rarefied. Ancient Greco-Rome may have been all about the masculine brawn and big biceps, but they weren't threatened by the mystical. One of the top jobs and one of few careers that were open to women was working as a professional mystic. The Pythia in Greece and Sibyl in Rome were official oracles. The Greco-Roman temple dedicated to Apollo in Delphi is built on the remains of a goddess-based predecessor, as Christian churches have been built on foundations previously occupied by Greco-Roman temples. The Pythia channeled prophecies and answered seekers' questions. The Pythia's chair was positioned above a fissure in the rock that emitted some sort of gas. Neptune rules gas, drugs, and intoxication, as well as channeling, mediumship, and prophecy. Neptune, the archetype. Classic archetypes include the healer, mystic, psychic, medium, artist, visionary, the addict, and the bleeding heart. The ancient worlds had plenty of outlets for the mystical archetype of Neptune to express. Everything was seen to have a spirit with a deity embodying it. Today we have the same desire to contact the divine through direct experience, which has seen Neptune come to the fore. People en masse seeking altered states of consciousness, meditation going mainstream, and crystals galore. Astrology and tarot are frameworks to tap into our higher mind. While seances haven't been trending as hard as they did around Neptune's discovery, slipping back through time to connect with ancestors, the rise of the modern mystic, and dissolving of boundaries from identity to sexuality are manifestations. More people are discovering their creative side, inviting in Neptune. From 40,000 to 4,000 BC, 90% of figurines represented women as the archetypal divine source of life, dropping dramatically to 0.5% after that. An excellent reason to reclaim the divine. Women and alternative voices silenced through much of history are repopulating digital platforms. In various tribal cultures, non-gender conforming people were believed to possess heightened access to spirituality and a little more magic than regular folk, hallmarks of Neptune, as they had 2 spirits. was seen to have. Today's two spirits are queer, gay, fluid, non-binary, and trans people enriching our world. And I think that's very interesting because it has been under this Neptune at its, heightened strength in its own sign of Pisces that we have seen all of the identity stuff come out. And again, today, bringing it back today, we're seeing Neptune on the sun, and the sun is about identity. So what could that mean for you? What it could mean is a loosening of your own identity if anything is too tight and constrictive. Obviously, if it's working, don't mess with it. But I think we all have a lot imposed on us that we have taken on, and we could probably get a bit of elbow room to become more authentic selves, have room to experiment like children do. They're not taking on as much. They're really soaking things in and developing themselves. And we can continue to do that through our lifetime. The pitfall is when you unravel your identity too quickly, as you might see, say, in cults or people just diving too head on into a spiritual path, trying to get beyond themselves. It unravels too quickly and you lose yourself. You could lose your mind. So it's a process that's done with stabilization slowly. It's okay to be who you are now. It's also okay to get some wiggle room and some elbow room in there to continue to develop and discover yourself. And I think that's one of the blessings of this combo, and something that's really important to remember, because looking at how the left and right are being so divisive, and it's very divisive over what I think is really identity. You get one bag or you get the other bag, and actually we're all very unique and individual. And this gives us a moment to reflect on that, tap in, embody, and just dissolve a few things that are not helpful or helping us to function. It also brings us together in that higher place beyond the personality and the ego, where we are all connected. And that is the true blessing and magic as well. That oneness. Neptune's function is to bring us back to oneness. And again, we need a bit of ego and individuality to function sanely in this sometimes insane world. So it's really important to balance the both. I see in a lot of spirituality people really condemning that self or self-awareness or ego. And actually ego has a function. It's a function of the sun to basically hold us together. It's important, but it has its role. And rather than giving it more, portfolios that are not really under its domain, just give it its own and keep it, working on that. It's a balance. I think that's a lot of what psychology is all about too. So enjoy this beautiful combo. Check out my book, Astro Power, A Simple Guide to Prediction and Destiny for the Modern Mystic by Vanessa Montgomery, to learn more about the planets and Neptune. You'll really enjoy it. It's a great read. And once you're done, check out Pisces in Cosmic Power, Ignite Your Light. It's all about the sun signs. And Star Power, Simple Guide to Astrology, is all about putting it all together to learn more about your birth chart and how you even do that. So it goes through everything you'll need to know. Enjoy and contact me for more questions. Vanessa Montgomery from Astro All-Starz with a Z.com. Stay cosmic.